good evening. Find a comfortable position. Let your body grow heavy and allow your breathing to become slow and deep. Look up in your mind's eye to the night sky. You see a velvet black canvas sprinkled with diamond dust, countless stars, countless worlds, countless possibilities. The sheer numbers suggest we can't possibly be alone. And yet, there is only silence, a profound, unbroken silence that stretches across light years. Tonight, we are not going to look for signals. We are going to listen to the silence itself and ask why it is so deafening. We will explore a powerful, haunting idea known as the dark forest theory, a potential answer to one of science's greatest questions. Where is everybody? Prepare to drift through a cosmos that is not empty, but is instead holding its breath. This great cosmic question is known as the Fermi Paradox. It was famously posed by the physicist Enrico Fermi during a casual lunch in 1950. If our sun is a typical star and our planet a typical world, and the laws of physics are universal, then the universe should be filled with civilizations. Some would be primitive, some would be like us, and some would be millions of years more advanced. The galaxy should be a bustling metropolis of trade, communication, and culture. Scientist Frank Drake even created an equation, a formula to estimate the number of active, communicative, extraterrestrial civilizations in the Milky Way galaxy. Depending on the variables you choose, the answer is almost never one. It is often thousands or even millions. Yet when we point our radio telescopes to the stars, we hear nothing but the faint, ancient hum of the universe's birth. The math says the party should be in full swing, but the house is dark and quiet. This is the paradox. And the dark forest offers a chillingly logical explanation for the silence. To understand this theory, we must first change our perspective. Imagine the universe is not a grand stage, but a dark forest at midnight. It is impossibly vast, ancient, and filled with shadows. In this forest, every civilization is a lone hunter, moving silently through the trees. They are armed, and they are trying to survive. This is the first, most fundamental axiom of the theory. Survival is the primary and ultimate goal of every civilization. All other pursuits, like art, philosophy, or kindness, are secondary to the simple, cold imperative to continue existing. Everything a civilization does, from building cities to writing poems, is built upon the foundation of its own survival. The second axiom is just as simple, yet it creates a universe of infinite danger. Civilizations desire to grow and expand, but the total amount of matter and energy in the universe is finite. Think of it like a single island with limited resources. Even if a new tribe seems friendly today, their inevitable need for more water, more food, and more land will one day put them in direct competition with you. In the cosmic forest, the resources are entire star systems, nebulae rich with elements, and the energy output of suns. The drive for expansion is relentless, and the resources, while vast, are not infinite. This sets the stage for a universe defined not by cooperation, but by eternal, potential conflict. Now, let us introduce the most critical element, cosmic distance and the speed of light. Imagine you are a hunter in the forest and you see a flicker of a campfire in the distance. It could be another lost soul, a potential friend. But it could also be a predator or a competitor for the scarce food in this part of the forest. You want to shout, "Hello? Are you friendly?" But your voice will take decades, centuries, or millennia to reach them. Their reply, if it ever comes, will take just as long to return. By the time you receive their answer of, "Yes, we are friendly," your two civilizations could have changed beyond recognition. The friendly philosophers who sent the message could have been replaced by a conquering empire. Trust is impossible across such gulfs of time and space. This inability to trust creates what is called a chain of suspicion. You cannot be certain of another civilization's true intentions, now or in the future. You also know that they cannot be certain of your intentions. They know that they know, and so on, into an infinite loop of mutual paranoia. Even if both of you are fundamentally peaceful, you cannot risk assuming the other is. The slightest miscalculation, the slightest bit of misplaced faith, could lead to your complete and utter annihilation. The stakes are not a lost battle or a broken treaty. The stakes are the extinction of your entire species and its legacy. In a world of such high stakes, the only logical assumption is to assume the worst. Let's add another layer of fear, the unpredictability of technological growth. This is the concept of a technological explosion. A civilization that is currently using primitive radio waves like us could, in a mere few centuries, discover physics that allows them to travel near the speed of light or wield the energy of stars. From the perspective of a million-year-old civilization, a few hundred or a few thousand years is the blink of an eye. Any civilization you detect, no matter how primitive it seems, is a potential existential threat. You cannot know when they will suddenly leap forward and become a danger to you. The sleeping baby dragon will one day wake up and breathe fire. So, what does a wise hunter do in this dark forest? They remain silent. They extinguish their campfire. They muffle their footsteps. They develop technologies that minimize their cosmic footprint, hiding their heat signatures and absorbing their own radiation. They become one with the darkness. Their primary goal is not to be found. To reveal your location in the cosmic forest is to paint a target on your back for every other hidden hunter who might see your light. Silence is survival. Darkness is a shield. This is why the universe appears so empty. It is not empty. It is just very, very quiet. Everyone is hiding. But what happens if a hunter, while moving silently, stumbles upon another? Imagine you are creeping through the undergrowth and you hear a twig snap nearby. You know another hunter is there. You also know that they have heard you. The chain of suspicion ignites instantly. They could be hostile. They could be peaceful. You cannot know. But they are now aware of your existence. And as we've established, any other civilization is a potential future threat due to expansion and technological explosions. What is the safest possible move? The only guaranteed way to remove a potential future threat is to eliminate it before it has a chance to eliminate you. This leads to the darkest part of the theory. The optimal strategy for any civilization that discovers another is a preemptive strike. It's not born of malice or hatred or xenophobia. It is born of pure, cold, cosmic logic. It is the tragic game theory of survival on a universal scale. hunter who sees the flicker of another campfire does not shout hello. They take aim and they extinguish that fire permanently. They might use a photoid, a projectile, moving at nearly the speed of light, ensuring that the target civilization never even sees it coming. A star might suddenly blink out of existence, and no one would ever know it was the home of a thriving world, silenced for the crime of being seen. Think of the vastness of space as a great ocean. Civilizations are like submarines, moving in the deep, dark quiet. They run silent, listening. The first one to make a ping with its sonar reveals its position to everyone else, and the other submarines, unable to know the pinging sub's intent, might logically choose to launch their torpedoes first, just to be safe. We, on Earth, have been pinging for over a century. Our radio broadcasts, our television signals, our planetary radar, they are all expanding outwards in a sphere of noise, announcing our presence to anyone who might be listening. The famous WOW signal of 1977, a powerful, narrowband radio signal detected from the direction of Sagittarius, is often cited as potential evidence of alien contact. In the context of the dark forest, this signal takes on a more ominous tone. Was it a greeting? Or was it the cosmic equivalent of a scream, the last broadcast of a civilization, just as it was being silenced by a hidden hunter who detected them? Or perhaps it was the hunter's weapon itself, a burst of energy designed to sterilize a world. The silence that followed is, perhaps, more telling than the signal itself. So, how can a civilization survive in this terrifying forest? There are two primary strategies. The first, as we have discussed, is absolute silence, total concealment. To never give any other hunter a reason to notice you. You become a low entropy civilization, recycling all your energy, leaving no trace, existing like a ghost within your own solar system. You watch the stars, but you never, ever touch them. You listen, but you never speak. It is a lonely, paranoid existence, but it is a safe one. The second strategy is far more aggressive. It is to become the most dangerous hunter in the forest. You actively seek out the campfires of others and extinguish them before they can become a threat. You create a safety zone around yourself, a sterilized bubble of space, where you are the only intelligent life. This strategy is also born of fear. By becoming the monster, you ensure that no other monster can get you. This would explain phenomena like gamma ray bursts, immense explosions of energy from distant galaxies. While they have natural explanations, in the dark forest, they could also be the muzzle flash of a cosmic weapon fired across intergalactic distances. This theory also provides a different lens through which to view our own history and future. Projects like METI, or Messaging to Extraterrestrial Intelligence, which actively broadcast powerful, information-rich signals to nearby stars, are seen by some as profoundly reckless. From the dark forest perspective, it is like a child lost in the woods, shouting, "I'm here, I'm friendly, I have lots of food," to every shadow moving in the trees. It is an act of naive optimism in a universe that might reward pragmatism and paranoia above all else. The theory suggests there may be a great filter ahead of us. Perhaps the reason we don't see any other civilizations is because they all eventually make the same mistake. They reach a certain level of technology, they get curious, They start shouting into the void, and they are promptly silenced by a much older, wiser, and more cautious hunter. Our current technological age might be the most dangerous period in the entire history of humanity. We are just now learning how to light our own campfire and are gleefully waving it around for all to see. Consider the mysterious disappearances of stars or the sudden dimming events like that of Tabby's star. We seek natural explanations, and they are often the most likely. But the dark forest offers an alternative. Perhaps we are witnessing the after effects of silent, cosmic conflicts. The dimming of a star could be the construction of a Dyson sphere by a civilization trying to hide, enclosing their star to capture all its energy and light. The disappearance of a star could be the result of a strike that caused it to collapse into a black hole. The silence we perceive could be a form of cosmic wisdom passed down through eons. Any civilization that survives for millions of years must have learned the fundamental rule of the forest. Do not be seen. The ones who were loud, the ones who were explorers, the ones who were filled with the same wonder and curiosity that drives us, they are all gone. The universe we see is populated only by the silent elders who learned their lesson, and the naive newcomers like us who have not yet been taught it. This thought experiment paints a lonely picture, but it's not without a strange kind of beauty. It implies that the universe is not empty, but full of life that is holding its breath. Every star you see in the sky could be a silent watcher. Every quiet patch of space could be home to an intelligence so ancient and so vast that it has chosen perfect, eternal stillness over the risk of discovery. The emptiness is a facade, a carefully maintained illusion. It also reframes our own significance. In this model, our Earth is not just a home. It is a secret, a fragile, beautiful secret in a vast, dangerous wilderness. Our vibrant biosphere, our noisy cities, our art, our love, our conflicts, all of it is a single, bright campfire. The theory urges a sense of cosmic humility and caution. It suggests that our greatest treasure is not what we might find out there, but the precious, unique spark of consciousness we have right here. Let's imagine for a moment that we receive a message, a clear, unambiguous signal from a world hundreds of light years away. The dark forest theory would advise us not to answer, to listen, to learn as much as we can about them from a distance, but to remain utterly silent. The sender could be naive, like us. Or the message could be a trap, a lure set by a predator to pinpoint the location of foolish, curious prey. The temptation to respond, to connect, would be immense. But the price of that connection could be everything. This theory is, of course, a work of fiction, born from the mind of author Liu Cixin in his incredible book, The Three-Body Problem. But like all good science fiction, it uses an imaginative premise to explore very real scientific and philosophical questions. It is a dark mirror held up to our own assumptions about the universe. We tend to project our own human values, curiosity, empathy, a desire for connection, onto the cosmos. The dark forest asks, what if the dominant value is not empathy, but survival? As you lie here, listening to the sound of my voice, feel the quiet of your room. It is a safe, quiet, a peaceful silence. The dark forest theory imagines a different kind of quiet, a tense, expectant silence, the silence of a predator waiting, the silence of prey hiding. It is a quiet filled with unspoken threat and infinite caution. It is the sound of a universe playing the most high-stakes game imaginable. But there is an alternative. Perhaps the forest is not dark because of hunters. Perhaps it is dark because life is simply that rare. Perhaps the chain of events that led to consciousness on this planet is so ridiculously improbable that we are, for all intents and purposes, functionally alone. In this view, the silence is not a sign of fear, but a sign of our own profound uniqueness. Our campfire is not one of many hidden in the woods. It is the only fire for 1,000,000,000 miles. Or perhaps advanced civilizations have transcended physical form and the need for stellar resources. Perhaps they exist in other dimensions, or as pure information, or have turned inward, exploring the infinite universes within mathematics or their own consciousness. In this case, the forest is not dark. It's just that we are looking for the wrong kind of life. We are like a deep-sea fish looking for other fish, unaware of the birds soaring in the sky above the water. The dark forest theory is a compelling narrative. It fits the evidence, the great silence, perfectly. It is logical, it is self-consistent, and it is terrifying. But it is just one story among many possibilities. The truth of the cosmos could be stranger, more beautiful, or more mundane than we can possibly imagine. The silence could be a prelude to a greeting we are not yet equipped to hear. Let your mind drift with this idea. Feel the scale of it. Billions of years, trillions of stars. A cosmic game of hide and seek where the penalty for being found is extinction. It is a thought so large that it can make our own daily worries seem very, very small. Your anxieties, your to-do lists, they are like motes of dust floating in the beam of a single distant star. Allow them to drift away. The theory is a reminder of the value of darkness. We often fear the dark, but in the cosmic forest, it is a blanket. It is safety. It is peace. The shadows between the stars are not empty. They are places of rest, of quiet observation. As you prepare for sleep, embrace the darkness of your own room. It is your own small patch of the safe, silent forest. What if humanity's destiny is not to shout into the forest, but to tend to our own campfire? To make it as bright and as warm as possible, not for others to see, but for ourselves. To create a world so full of art, knowledge, and compassion that it becomes its own universe of meaning. Perhaps true advancement is not expanding outwards, but growing deeper inwards. The stars do not offer us answers. They offer us a mirror. When we look up and ask, where is everybody? We are also asking, who are we? Are we explorers? Are we conquerors? Are we naive children? Or can we become something else? Can we be the one civilization that chooses to trust, that chooses to hope, even if it is a risk? For now, the forest remains dark. The silence remains unbroken. But it is not an empty silence. It is a silence filled with potential, with mystery, and with the faint, rhythmic breathing of a sleeping universe. It is a lullaby, sung by gravity and time. Let that cosmic lullaby soothe you. Let the darkness be a comforting weight, a blanket of peace. There is no need to be afraid of this dark forest. It is just a story, a thought to hold and then release. As you release it, feel your mind clearing. The great cosmic hunters fade away. The vast, silent spaces become peaceful voids, and all that is left is you, here, now, safe, calm, and ready for sleep. The mysteries of the universe can wait until morning. For now, there is only rest. And so, the dark forest theory offers us a universe far more complex than we imagined. It transforms the empty stage into a crowded theater where all the actors are hiding behind the curtain, waiting. It's a powerful explanation for the Fermi Paradox, born from a chillingly simple set of logical assumptions that all life wants to survive, and that true trust is impossible across the vastness of space and time. It suggests that our search for contact is a profound gamble, and that the silence we hear might be a warning. But it remains just one possibility in a cosmos of infinite unknowns. The truth could be far more wondrous. Thank you for joining this journey into the quiet of space. I hope it has brought a sense of peace and perspective to your mind. As you drift off, I leave you with a question. If we received a message from the stars tomorrow, knowing what you now know, should we answer? Let your subconscious ponder it as you drift into a deep and restful sleep. Sweet dreams.